It's okay. Start the stream. Start the stream! We'll just let it go on 5 minutes later, which we usually kind of do anyway.
Okay, so we might want to let it go on 10 minutes later.
Perhaps. If we get caught enough in conversation. Ronnie, we started late because I was talking commissions.
That's funny.
It is.
You go check on this laundry.
I already did it.
Oh, sorry about that.
Well, yeah, I wanted it to get done before we went on stream. And I have the dryer going. You take it out of the dryer when it's done.
Order, then...
I need to grab a chair.
What is this?
You know what? This should be a quarter window. And this should take up the entire left half of my screen. Okay. It does appear that we are live. We have a hello, Miss Blossom from Charles B.
Sup, Charles? We gotta spread this stream around like wildfire. Sorry we started a little late, folks. Me and Emerald got into a conversation about the commission we're working on today. In case you guys forgot, we were working on a commission for a very special birthday for his sibling. So we were just hammering out some details, how I'm going to gift wrap it, how we're going to put a card in there because it is a birthday. I'm doing a little something different for it. All that nice and good stuff. I'm just going to spread around, link to my stream. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm coming to join.
Oh,
Sorry I'm
shoot.
late.
Why don't you show everyone the new plushie you got me?
Oh, yeah. I keep saying I'm not gonna, I keep saying I'm not gonna, it's so bright, that camera. I'm not gonna enable her addiction to plushies anymore, and then
It's Hello Kitty in a chicken suit with a freaking cup of noodles!
And then I do, and I hate myself. Sucker was expensive, too.
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was almost $40.
Yep.
It was at a
And,
Target.
Let me hit this retweet button.
It's the best thing ever! Gosh, yeah, I'm gonna make like an Instagram post of this picture of this plushie because it is like freaking the best. I love Hello Kitty, and she's just like a chicken. Brian, help me put her chicken hoodie back on. She looked cute with it on.
Yeah, sure. I'll get it for you.
You could just, and you can play with her. She goes like, I like chicken. Nom 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 nom. Nom nom nom.
So I have a rather funny story to tell.
Tell it now.
So a couple weeks ago, I was closing the Dollar General I work at with one of my coworkers,
Well, there's
and
your
I
first
told her,
mistake.
well, it's not really a mistake because it's a business in town I could walk to, which means that transit costs aren't even part of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I was telling her about the "I'm going to spoon you and you're not going to enjoy it" story.
Oh, jeez. Why
And
are you
at the
telling
time when
other
I
people
told her-
my stories?
What was that?
Why are you telling other people my stories?
Because they're funny.
Well, yes, that is a bottle of wine, Heather.
Open it for Heather.
What's the magic word?
I love you.
That's one of them.
Anyway,
Words, please.
so at the time I told her the story, she said, "Well, that's stupid. I wouldn't be scared by that." Guess what I pulled on her last night?
Oh, jeez.
You jerk. You monster.
This is not going to open easily, is it?
You're probably gonna break the seal.
Oh, are we going to have another trying poorly to open a bottle of wine?
Well, I'm handicapped tonight. The muscles that would normally be used to
Right.
open this have been gashed. So,
On a lightsaber.
yeah. Hand me a couple tissues, please, Heather. Is there really no chat still?
Velvet Brody is
Oh.
saying hi to both of you and asking how you're doing tonight.
Something's wrong. The live chat.
There
yeah,
it is.
Something was wrong with it.
Well, I'm doing okay. These are so tissues are slippery. I'm doing all right.
He's trying. Oh no.
Nope, that's slippery too.
That's probably even more slippery than the paper towel.
It most certainly was.
You made him upset. He's spaghetti. You got him in the ass.
There, now he's happy. Yes, we did have Labor Day off, Charles.
Which was nice.
And he wants to know why you haven't purchased a corkscrew yet.
We have, but this one's kind of like one of those tops that screws off, I'm pretty sure. Oh. I'm pretty sure it's a screw off top.
It is. I just can't get a grip on it.
I did it. It's exploding. Please put it in the sink.
What was that? Put it in my mouth?
I mean, if you want to.
Wow, this is it's wet. That's part of the problem. Yeah, we're doing
Stop
this again.
shaking it.
What was that?
Stop shaking it, you guys.
What do you mean I'm shaking it? I'm not shaking it. You're shaking.
Look, this is gonna be your problem.
Anyway, to finish my story,
Yeah.
she was very mad at me. Not only because I pulled the thing on her that she said it wouldn't work on her, but because I was so happy that it worked.
And you know something? You've got the look to pull it off. Because keep in mind, when I did that, I had really long hair and I did not trim this beard. Right?
Well, the thing is, she didn't even see me.
Yeah. And so...
I just took the spoon out from around the corner of the aisle.
Yeah. And, yeah, you gotta have the look. You gotta have the long hair down in the face. You gotta not have glasses. You gotta have a big beard. You see, mine was a bit bushier at the time. I would not let it get much bigger than this, but it added shape to my face with how big it was. And then you gotta have the look, and that's why I took my glasses off, because you gotta go you get your eyes all bugged out like this, and then you just smile. I'm going to spoon you, and you're not going to enjoy it. Gotta get crazy.
I usually veer more towards the Kubrick stare.
That was loud. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, so you got it open?
Yes, I did get it open.
Okay, can you pour me a glass, please?
No.
Why would you?
Oh yeah, then I told her the Batman birthday party story, and she died laughing.
Telling other people my stories.
I do it all the time.
Why do you do it? And what stories have you told people?
Oh, I tell them the rat story.
The rat story. Which one? Oh yeah, from BronyCon. That was a good story.
I don't believe I'm familiar with that one.
So Heather, how
you
about
probably
you
heard
tell
it.
how about you tell the rat story, Heather?
This is very good. Try some of that. It's very berry.
Okay.
Anyways, this was one of our first dates. We first met up for our first date in Everfree, and that was a nice one. You like it?
Yeah, it's kind of sweet and carbonated, but it does still burn the throat a few seconds later.
Well, it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Stella Rosa can't do much wrong, so if you're ever looking for a wine for me, find me something sudsy that's Stella Rosa.
All right.
I like the berry. I like their watermelon. I like just the Moscato. And I've been wanting to try the watermelon one, but I was denied.
So, yeah,
Anyways.
it was, one of our first dates.
Yeah, hold on. Let me figure out the treble crochet.
Well, show the camera what you're trying to figure out.
Well, okay, so for this band, I have to chain 4, which I already did, and then I have to do 54 treble crochets. And I actually have a stitch guide that I got when I was in a class in college, and I laminated it just because it has a whole bunch of useful tips. It even has a little ruler on the side over here.
Yeah.
And it has tons of there's always little acronyms TR. That's how I know it's treble crochet. And I have a listed here, and there's a whole bunch of basic stitches on here that they teach you how to do. I keep it around just in case I forget. They even stuff to remind you what's a front loop, what's a back loop.
Mm-hmm.
The single crochet, the half double crochet, and if you know how to do the half double crochet, you know how to do the double crochet. You just figure it out. The treble crochet is right here.
That looks complicated.
It's a little complicated. I rarely ever have to do it, but I do have the instructions for it. So, let me say this out. So, you're gonna... I'll break it down. Hold the stitch guide.
Okay, I'm here.
Alright, so you're gonna have it just regular after I chain to 4. You're gonna... let's see. Yarn over hook twice. Insert hook into stitch A, which from here it looks like stitch A is... yes, so these are the 4 the chain they're talking about. So they probably want me to go into the one that's on the bottom, which is right here. So I shove my needle through that one. Yarn over again, draw through loop B like this. Yarn over, draw through 2 loops. Okay.
Wow.
And then you have to do 3 times C, D, and E. Gosh, hold on. Let me break that down a little more for myself. I just need to run through it a few times. Twice. Oh, so you tell the rat story so I can figure this out.
So we're at BronyCon 2018, I believe, and we went to a steakhouse restaurant that was around the corner from there, and as we're leaving, we took a few steps out, and this big old rat, I'd guess about this big.
As big as a fucking cat.
Well, a young kitten maybe. Just kind of runs across the street in front of us about 10 feet. Heather was like, "Oh my God, there's a rat." She's like, "That was a huge rat," and I happened to be looking down as we were walking forward. I said, "Yeah, it was almost as big as the one you're about to step on," and because there was in fact a pancaked rat carcass where we were right about to step. And Heather looked down where I was pointing, screamed, and then jumped into the nearest tree.
There was no trees. This was freaking Baltimore.
You jumped so high, Heather. It was hilarious.
I passed through Baltimore on the way to North Carolina. There's trees there.
Yeah,
I got it.
All right, good for you. But anyway, she shrieked and she jumped, and then she yelled at me like I was the jerk.
Because he started laughing, and then I...
Because it was hilarious, and
No,
you started with and you got on your spousal abuse crap like you always do.
You started it.
I didn't start anything, okay? I laughed at something that was funny. You came at me swinging.
You loved it.
I mean, that doesn't change anything that I said, but okay.
You loved it. Hold on.
I love the lack of denial.
Chicken Kitty. Everyone wants to see Chicken Kitty. Well, you know, when you bring it over closer to me, it's not as, like, brightened. Like, it adjusts. It adjusts when the chicken comes on.
All right.
Yeah, see, when you bring it over here, I start to lighten up a bit more.
You'd think it would adjust to this, I guess, because you're closer to the frame.
I don't know, man.
To the camera. Alrighty then. So yeah. So that's the rat story. How about, like, what did I miss, Heather?
No, that was basically it. Like, he freaking just was about to let me step on a pancake rat. Was just like, watch out for that pancake rat. And I was just like, what? Fuck! And then he was just like, ha! And I'm like, you bitch! After we had
Heather
just
jumped
had...
10 feet in the air, and you started laughing, and she used the momentum of her descent to clock you.
Yeah, something like that.
Like freaking, what was I thinking about? Freaking... Great, now I can't remember what I was thinking about. I was thinking about chicken.
You were thinking about the rat story.
I was thinking about the rat story. Oh, and it was after we had such a nice date. He took me to this expensive restaurant. I think it was Sullivan's. or something.
I don't remember the name of that.
Well, all I know is it was kind of like away in the corner of a street, but it was nice as soon as you come in. It was a small restaurant, and they just had a projector that was showing like Frank Sinatra, like shows, and like it was the fancy places where like the entree and the sides are paid for separately, and they had a really nice lemonade.
I don't remember the lemonade.
I probably let you have.
I just remember you not letting me see the check.
Did I pay?
I think you did.
I think we split it.
You might have.
It was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially what it is. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do tallies if I'm gonna remember to do 54. 54. Where's my pencil?
You want me to get the notepad from the other room?
Oh no, I have a notepad right here. But I had a pencil out that I was gonna... pencil.
So Blood Archer Gaming says, the court finally ruled on the Epic versus Apple BS, and I have no idea.
So here's what happened. You know how you could get like Fortnite on Google Play, or in this case the Apple Store, and just have it on your phone? Well, the thing is with that, if you sign your app on to like the Apple Store, Apple gets to take a percentage of all the microtransactions like in your game or app. Mm-hmm. But Epic found a way around this by having it go like, would you like to purchase this add-on through the Apple Store, or would you like to just buy it directly on our website without the additional fee? And people, of course, would choose that option. Of course, that kind of like breached the terms that the Apple Store had. So, so they like took Fortnite off the Apple Store, mm-hmm. and Epic launched a whole lawsuit, and it's this whole thing about how freaking Apple just likes to profit over every single little action of individual apps, which is predatory to a lot of like small time game studios that want to go through the App Store and things like that. Mm-hmm. So Epic made a big whole case about it, and it looks like it ruled in Epic's favor that that's no longer going to be a thing. Like Apple isn't going to be able to profit after every transaction that happens in your game if people get it through the Apple Store. That's how I understand it, at least.
I think the better solution would be for both of these companies to not exist.
Oh, honey, but they already do, and you can't do anything about it.
Oh, I bet you I could do something about it if I really tried. I could do a lot of really mean things about it if I wanted to.
He says as he holds a Hello Kitty.
And I kind of want to, but like, the only reason I haven't is that nobody's ever made it personal. If someone ever gave me a personal reason to do that, there wouldn't be much that could stop me.
Young man.
Yep.
So, a slightly more complete explanation for the whole Apple versus Epic thing. Apple has quite a locked-down approach to how they handle anything on their platforms. Basically, if you want to be in the App Store, you have to use Apple's payment processor, which they take a 30% cut from, and you can't link to any external payments or anything like... You can't even link to external FAQs at all. They are extremely locked down with their terms of service. Epic didn't care and decided to... Oh, and one of the other things is, if you do include an external payment processor, there is like one way around it. You cannot make the external payment processor cheaper than the Apple. They have to be the same price. So, Epic decided to use their own payment within Fortnite and made it cheaper than the Apple one, because obviously they didn't have to give up as much of a cut. And that, of course, was against Apple's terms of service. Epic fired back when Apple pulled their developer account, saying, you shouldn't be allowed to do this since you're basically a monopoly, or at the very least a duopoly with Google on Android. Mm-hmm. So, the TLDR, because it was a long, drawn-out situation, is that it was ruled that Apple can't force developers to use their payment processor and not include alternatives, or force the alternatives to be the same price. But because Epic was indeed in violation of the terms of service, they're not getting their developer account back.
Alright, good. Screw them. I mean, screw all of them.
And actually, in South Korea, their courts took it a step further, where Apple has to allow other payment processors on the Apple App Store. But only in South Korea.
Apple just needs to stop existing.
But I like my iPad.
I don't like your iPad.
I like it.
Your iPad
Apple just
infuriates
needs a better company.
I like
Yeah, but they have no reason to. So
Yeah, because they have all their users in a cult.
Yeah, they just need to stop existing. They've already. I know earlier this week they there was a U.S. case that ruled in favor of what we call right to repair, and I'm sure you know all about that.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yep. Because of the way that, not just Apple, but a few other companies, like I'm sure Microsoft does it in not such a infamous measure, but they still do it occasionally. You still hear about it occasionally. You can't repair your own stuff. And here's the thing: if you pay for it more than once, right? If the price isn't fixed, that you can eventually pay once or pay off. If you can't modify it, you can't sell it, and you can't repair it, then you don't own it. And I hate the concept of paying for something that I don't own.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that so many of these companies are going in lockstep with Apple, because Apple is the one that ends up pioneering this crap, and then everybody goes and follows their example, is just that. It all boils down to you not owning what you pay for. You will rent everything, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. No, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Adobe. I mean, I've been pretty vocal on Twitter the last couple of weeks, and on my streams especially, calling Adobe the cantankerous faggots, because they do the same thing. $600 and $700 a year, which was more than what the entirety of the Creative Suite used to cost to own it for forever, until they tried to find a way to shut off your license to Creative Suite remotely. So Adobe is pretty horrible about that too, and it should be illegal. If I give you money, then I should own whatever it is. That, I don't know. Software as a service is what it's called, and I freaking hate it.
Yeah, you know who's really bad for right to repair?
Tell me.
John Deere.
Really?
Yeah, they are. If you think Apple is bad, they have nothing on John Deere.
That's funny.
Basically,
my father uses John Deere tractors all the time, and he's almost always repairing it himself.
Well, it's not so much the consumer side, it's the farmers. They get these big, expensive tractors with all these great technological features that allow them to farm more efficiently. But if the slightest thing breaks, they can't fix it themselves because they don't have the diagnostic tools or the software unlocks to be able to fix it themselves. They have to get John Deere themselves to fix it.
And that's probably egregiously expensive, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And think about it this way. If you're a farmer, you just got finished harvesting half your wheat crop and something in your tractor just kicked the bucket. You don't want to be waiting for a John Deere technician to show up so that you can finish harvesting the rest of your crop, which might be withered by the time they get out to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that hopefully the whatever was just ruled against with Apple trickles down to everything else then, because I didn't know about that, and that's even worse.
That's typically
like
how it works.
We can live without iPads and iPhones, and we can live without computers. We can't live without the farmers.
That's very true, but that's why I have hope for it, because that usually is the case, because other people in those industries would be like, hey, that worked for them, it should be able to work for us, and the people in charge are usually like, oh shit, that could work for them, and start making the changes just to avoid that.
Yeah. Because precedence is a big deal in the United States court system.
I'm sorry, I can't get over how good this smells. Very fragrant one. Can you smell it?
I cannot.
Try.
I smell carbonation.
Yeah. It just has such a sweet smell.
Tell them about those drinks we tried out today, Heather. Because we had a heck of a day today, didn't we? Have you told them about that yet?
We just started. You've been here the whole time, honey. We haven't had time to talk about our day yet.
Yeah, so tell them about our day and then get to the...
Well, we did the usual stuff. We got all our chores out of the way. Then we had quite a few errands to run. Unfortunately, that Twilight Sparkle I auctioned off a while ago, it got sent back to me because I put the wrong apartment number or something, though I could have sworn I put the right one. Who knows what happened. All that's important is that it gets sent back. Bronny had a few things to send out, so we were at the post office. And then from there, I think we ran to the nursery to ask questions about what I should and shouldn't be doing with my citrus tree, which we got to move it to a smaller pot, and then when it gets big, move it to a bigger pot. And we have like a mesh and stuff we got to put over it. And after we were done with Home Depot, then I was like, I'm hungry. Let's go eat food. We went to a buffet, our favorite Chinese buffet, where we had tons of dumplings.
And I probably ate 3 days worth of food.
If you ate 3, I ate 4.
Maybe.
It was good. It was good food. I had a good time. Ate a whole bunch of Chinese food. Then we went to Spirit of Halloween. The Spirit of Halloweens around our area have been a little lackluster compared to other years that I've been to Spirit of Halloween in different places.
Yeah, there's
like,
one more...
There's usually so many, like, decorations and animatronics out. It's almost like going to, like, a haunted house that you would just, like, the only payment you'd have to do is if you wanted to take something home.
There's one more that's usually open that's usually really big and really good. It's out by our friend Brian, though, so...
We should try going next weekend.
Yeah, the last time I was in there was, well, several years ago, but they just had aisles on aisles and aisles of really good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I love that part of Halloween. Doesn't mean I didn't have a good time in the store we were in. We were just looking at stuff, little props. I took a few pictures that I haven't sent Brandon the freaking one that I wanted to send him.
They have a very limited selection, the two that we've been to this year. They've all been, instead of aisles, they've all been, like, sectioned off. Like, here's your anime section, and you've got 500 different accessories for the anime section. Then you've got your Freddy Krueger section, and your Jason Voorhees section, and then your Slutty Devil section, and your Slutty Nurse section, and your Slutty Nun section, and then, that's about it. And then a wall of masks and the kids section, and very little selection this year.
Yeah, I still had a good time, but yeah, I just want a little more because I love that they like one time I went to a Spirit of Halloween and they had a whole walk-in experience of how it was just like screens on each wall, and it was kind of like the horror of being stuck in a submarine with a shark outside, and the shark would eventually like bump up against the glass and shake, and it would feel like, whoa, shark's right outside the tank. So that was pretty dang cool. So like my expectations are kind of high for Spirit of Halloween. Spirit of Halloween's really fun. But, yeah, freaking Brandon showed me videos of Spirit of Halloween he was visiting in his place in Utah. They had all the shit. Freaking...
Yeah.
It's good shit, though. But other than that, like, what did we do after Home Depot? Oh, we went to Target, right?
Yeah, we went to Target and did a whole bunch of grocery shopping. She found that, and I caved because I'm a simp, and I need to do better.
And she's hungry.
I need you to not be a child. You make me feel strange. You make me feel like a cradle robber.
I'm a perfectly consenting adult. I just have very childish interests, which I am allowed to have. I'm an adult. I have an adult job. I make money. I pay the bills. I am allowed to have a motherfucking Hello Kitty dressed up in a chicken suit and eating cup of noodles. As long as I still keep doing the important things, like paying bills and going to work and eating healthy and all that bullshit that comes with being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I am allowed to have my interests.
Alrighty then. Spencer, do you see any chat that you're interested in?
Let's see.
By the way, it is just Spencer with us tonight, right? There's nobody off in this call just lurking.
I haven't checked.
Not at the moment.
No, it's just him. You know, like Coon wasn't gonna make it. They're celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday to Coon, wherever you may be. And
Charles wants to know who you think Hello Kitty, or which pony would best get along with Hello Kitty.
Oh, any of them. Though if I had to say which one the most, Fluttershy would obviously lose her shit because she's a cat.
Yeah.
Fluttershy, first and foremost. Rarity, because they both seem to like to accessorize. Pinkie Pie, of course, she's all about that. The people that might just not get along with her, or like just not particularly, like, it's not like they wouldn't, but like, why would they bother? It was like Rainbow Dash or Applejack.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they bother? She's a cute little cat person.
And that's really all that Chet had going on.
Alrighty then. Chet, you guys got to be more interesting. I can't be the whole team over here.
Oh, and I'm just over here crocheting a big pile of shit. I figured out the treble crochet, you fuckers.
Yep.
This is why we have these.
But you don't have the chicken, so your argument is invalid.
I love the chicken.
The chicken does not
Oh,
love you.
let's also talk about how I came home today and there was like, this has happened to me once before. A package came addressed to me with my full name and address on it, but it had no indication of who sent it to me. Like before, it was around my birthday time. It was a white Twilight Sparkle mug that just had Twilight with art, with her also having a coffee saying Morning Pony, but she just looks like less than zero, but angry. So it had that. I should check around for like an hour or two, asking everybody like, hey, did you send me this? Hey, did you send me this? Hey, did you send me this? To figure out it was my brother who sent it to me. And I did the same thing with this. This is, if you know Hell of a Boss, this is a pin of Stolas, an official merch item from Shark Robot. It's a really nice pin. I also got a pair of Has-Been Hotel socks. Again, it was addressed to me. I had no idea who sent it to me, so I was asking everybody. I asked my brother first and foremost because I'm like, you did this before, did you do this? And it was like, no, it wasn't me. I called my sister at one point for something unrelated, and she goes like, oh, by the way, it wasn't me because I heard about that. And I basically just went into my group chats, and I was just like, did you send this to me? Did you send this to me with pictures? And of course, my Discord chat, I finally was like, who sent this to me? And Louie was like, yeah, guys, who sent it to her, very suspiciously. And then Bronny was like, you sent her this, didn't you? And he goes, yeah, I did. So thank you, Totally Louie, for sending me a really awesome Stolas pin and a pair of Has-Been Hotel socks. I actually have a plan now, because I have other Has-Been Hotel pins, and this is Hell of a Boss. I keep treating them like they're one and the same. Well, one's a spin-off, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I decided I have two denim jackets, a white one and a blue one. And the blue one, I've been putting My Little Pony pins on. Like, I have Rarity and Applejack on either side of the collar. And I have, like, a Believe unicorn pin on the breast on that one. And I have a white one, but I feel like white didn't go with this, so I'm going to get a black denim jacket, and I'm going to have this on one side of my collar, and I think on the other side of the collar I'll get one of Blitz at some point. And I have other Has-Been Hotel ones, like, I think I have one of Alistair, and I think I have one of Serpentious, and I might have another one of Stolas. So, I'll probably do that. I was actually looking at denim jackets before we started the stream as well. You'd imagine, you can't believe how pricey these things are. I might buy it because I also got this week a birthday card for my mom. It's a few months late for my birthday, but hey, I got a Bath & Body gift card and a Visa gift card.
Louie really pinpointed her interest and socked it to her.
Yeah, that's what made the gift so interesting, because I'm like, this is someone who knows my interests and knows that I like this character in particular.
Acknowledge my pun, gosh darn it.
I did that earlier today. You only get like one or two a day.
But I make multiple puns a day.
You get one or two a day.
Why can't you accept me?
I accept you and I love you for who you are. But you get one or two a day! There was
You're
one
upsetting your child.
There was one that went over my head today that involved the color red. Like, I was talking about something, like, I was like, something on me is red or something. He goes like, you sounds like you're ready. And I'm like, ready for what? Like, legitimately, like, dumbfounded. I'm like, ready for what? And you go like, you're ready, Heather. And I'm like, ready for what? And I go, oh, you meant red. Okay. I did not catch that immediately.
Yep. Charles wants to know if you've seen Sweetie streaming on Twitch. I heard a noise. Was that a cat?
I really.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Oh no, it was like the jingling of her collar, and then the dryer made a noise at the same time, and I conflated the two.
Oh yeah. So I don't really go on Twitch, so I wouldn't have caught her stuff. I don't really use Twitch. I know at one point I was talking about being able to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but it turns out with the programs I'm using, that would have been an additional cost to be able to do that. Did you put Chicky on the floor?
Yes, I did.
Why don't you put her on the floor?
I threw her over there.
Oh, honey.
Angrily, like 10 minutes ago.
You know, before I forget, remind me I need the vinegar, because I'm growing some mold on the side of my cabinet.
I'm trying to lean back so they can see Cat.
She's on
In
the
this
floor.
angle, between this angle and the Chinese food baby, I'm not looking too good.
You're not feeling too good either. You guys seen his necklace stuff? I like this necklace.
Yeah, it's my Gurren Lagann drill. Gurren Lagann
You're lagging behind me.
is the circle of life with an infuriating cat.
Yeah, I got a new bruise on my thigh.
Is it new? Is that not the one I gave you a couple
No,
of
that
weeks
was
ago?
more over there.
Mm.
And it would have healed up by now. This is a new one.
So here's something we might be able to talk about is this freaking cat. So we've been bad the last couple of weeks and we've been letting the cat sleep with us. So last weekend I didn't get any sleep because I would just wake up at all hours of the night and then not be able to get back to sleep. And I finally figured out it was because this thing was in the bed and then my body would wrap around to accommodate her and end up in these positions that I am way too old to be in.
She's essentially pushing him off the bed. Because she just
I
huddles
woke
up
up-
into his back.
I woke up Labor Day morning at 3 o'clock, torqued at such an that I couldn't have pulled off in my 20s. So I was like, okay, and then she doesn't shut up. This is the most talkative cat I've ever seen in my whole life.
I gotta take
And I hate
responsibility
it.
for that, because when I was getting a cat, I was like, man, I hope she's a cat that talks. I don't remember
And
having
I
a cat
told
that
you,
would
you
meow.
are you careful what you wish for. That's probably going to be super annoying. Nobody ever listens to me.
To be fair, I kind of can tune it out. I'm good at that, because I used to do that with
You're
the
also
kids,
good at
too.
sleeping, and I'm not.
Yeah, so I just sleep through her when she doesn't shut up. So I feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm just used to it.
Aaron Davis says, I believe Restream is free, but I'm not sure. So we'll look into that.
Yeah, it's an idea.
Alright, is this cat petting stream or is it a crocheting stream?
No, but she gets mad when I stop.
Then I will do it. I'll take one for the team.
That's good of you. Finally. I needed you to take one for the team a few years ago, but you didn't do it.
I did. That's why we're here. A few years ago. You mean 3? As in how long we've been dating?
No, I was telling you to take one for the team and date
You
Louis.
were not. Oh, yes. You were telling me to date Louis.
And then
Because you're
Louis was
weird.
like, I need you to take one for the team and date Heather. And you were like, Louis, I need you to take one for the team and fuck off. Oh shoot, I dropped my yarn. When did it get on the floor? Shit. I wanted it to stay on the desk. Motherfucker! No. I seriously don't want my yarn on the floor because then it gets tangled up in my chair. And I hate that. I want it to stay on the desk.
Aaron Davis says, if only I could pet the kitty. Yes, if only you could pet the kitty.
What if there was a feature on the streams where it's like, if you donate $1, your hand can come through the computer and pet the cat?
I'm going to get one of those, virtual reality gloves that are starting to come out where they're like, oh, you can actually feel things through the gloves. And the stream is going to be, if you also have one of those gloves, then you can feel me petting the cat. I think we're only 10 years off of that technology being viable.
Kitty, you're drooling on the chair
You
again.
got to get her dental work done.
Well, honey, there's no practical reason for it other than the drooling, because she can eat and everything just fine, and it doesn't seem to cause her pain.
Mhm.
So I'd hate to put her through an unnecessary surgery. What if there's complications?
I think Rose likes to eat cats.
Wrong cat.
And we also saw a Meta Knight at the Target today.
It was a very plush Meta Knight. Like if you remember how that one looked and compare it to this.
Okay, so that one was made out of minky, and this one is made out of fleece. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, some kind of felt. So that one, that minky one, I thought was softer. I did like it, but I do already have one.
Yep.
Get me more. Get me a Kirby plush. I don't have one of him.
Get you more. She says, "Look at this bed."
Move your head.
Frickin' I can't figure out. They can see all my baldness and acne, but look at it.
Don't worry, I'll cover it.
Okay. How many people are watching us, Spencer?
She wants daddy time. She loves her daddy.
Get her ears. She loves you. She wants you to get her head.
Yeah, Spencer. Are you
I don't know because the page isn't loading for me.
Why do you not just have it open?
I do, but I'm on my laptop at the moment.
Get it on your phone. It's quicker.
Oh, thank you. We have 5 watching at the moment.
5 watching. Okay, I need each of those 5 to give me $2,000 so that I can look good on camera, basically. Because
Hey, look, I need each of those 5 to give me $100 so I can water cool my computer.
I need each of those 5 to give me $10 so I can put it toward paying off my credit card.
I need each of those 5 to live happy, long, fulfilling lives.
Can they not do that and give me money? Here, can you let me get your jewelry face?
You know, speaking of my computer, would you like to hear about the adventure that was today?
Oh yeah, he said he
sure.
was doing that for 8 hours.
Jeez, I would have literally chucked the thing through a window.
Dude, that reminds me of that one
I
stream we
can't. This
did.
is like $3,000 of hardware.
Oh yeah, that was a 6-hour-long stream.
When I was initially putting shit together.
It ended up being a bad RAM stick.
Damn, that was tiring.
It took us a week to figure out that it was a bad RAM stick.
Look,
6 hours of stream, 10 hours of troubleshooting.
well, at the very least, it's up and running now, and if anything goes bad on it, we can try and diagnose that it's like a singular part and just keep upgrading it. We don't have to keep buying a brand new thing every time, I don't think. At least not everything entirely new.
Yeah.
It works perfectly.
You'll be
fine
set
as it
until
is.
at least 2023.
2023. That's only 2 years away.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, son. How long ago did
Actually,
I do that computer stuff?
Oop, go ahead.
Almost 2 years.
That was 2 years ago I made this computer?
Yeah, just about.
No, it was 2020.
You're right. It was 2020. So that was just last year!
Yep.
Not ready for making upgrades. Making upgrades is hard.
But
A moth just landed on my nose. And I didn't kill it.
so the extremely short version is that I tested all of the hardware, I put it all in my case, and when I went to turn it on during the stream right now, just so I could like try to work on it while chat's not doing anything, it didn't turn on. So I need to figure out what I forgot to plug in, or what I plugged in wrong.
I don't like computers. I don't like them. Not one bit. I think I should have become Amish instead. I think that would have been better.
Blood Archer Gaming says, the heck do you need 10K for, Bronny?
Cosmetic surgery. I am extremely ugly. Keep
You are not
crocheting.
extremely ugly, Brawny.
I look like someone shaved a Sasquatch foot and then put googly eyes on it.
That's not true. Knife doesn't think you're ugly. She thinks your hands are beautiful because they pet her.
I look like Quasimodo got drunk and fell off the bell tower.
Shut up.
You're not hunched over enough for that.
You got too hot a girlfriend to say that about yourself.
I know, right? Question your decision making every day. You are so far out of my league.
Speaking of hot, feel my legs. Feel my legs, chat. Very smooth. been using male razors. Female.
Yeah, she was complaining about her women's razors, and I'm like, yeah, the marketing is like that. They make an inferior product and then they upcharge it by 50% or more. Just use one of mine. So I bought it. I happen to need it. Happen to be needing to buy another pack of razors anyway. So I was just like, here's one out of the pack. Yes, I felt them earlier, Heather.
Feel them again. Also, they're cold.
Try wearing pants instead of
But
flashing the whole country like a floozy.
But then I get hot in the bed.
Rephrase, please.
It gets hot at night, and it's hard to sleep.
Okay.
I really actually did feel that way yesterday while I was doing stuff and walking around in my pajama pants. I was just like, man, it's too hot for pajama pants. But then I put on shorts and I'm like, now I'm cold.
All right. Well, I cannot get up to get you a blanket, so Tiger will keep your legs warm. Knife does not like Tiger.
Yeah, she never.
I saw it the second you gave the tiger to Heather. Knife just perked up like, who does this cat think he is?
Oh my goodness, no one I love is more than you. I don't know no one more than you.
Look at her face. Look at her face.
You're my lovely kitty.
I remember when I first introduced her to this tiger and I like moved its head around and she was just like, is that fucking thing alive? But she's since gotten used to it because she would probably see that it's always on my bed and doesn't move. So she's like, oh, it's Dad.
Yeah, but she's also always on your bed and barely moves.
She does a thing called napping.
Hey, Bronny, question for you.
Yeah.
What is the most melatonin you have ever taken at one time?
40 milligrams in a moment of desperation that others should not under any circumstances replicate.
Desperation for sleep, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already up to 30, so...
Yeah, I've been taking 20 this week trying to get back on schedule, but 20 should be an upper limit for anybody. If anything, 10 should be an upper limit for anybody. But I have a really strong digestive and immune system, so typically it takes a much higher dosage for things to work on me. And so do not ever take medication the way that I might take medication, because I either skip it entirely knowing it's not going to work on me, or I have to take like a quadruple dose before it begins to have an effect on me.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, I have not considered that my immune system might be interfering with my melatonin intake. I might have to try higher doses.
At 30? How much do you weigh again?
Close to 180.
I would not recommend that. You're probably screwing something else up in your sleep schedule, or not being active enough during the day. Usually get enough sunlight. I'm not joking.
Sunlight is definitely something I am not getting enough of.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Vitamin D and just sunlight helps with your melatonin, your natural melatonin production, and setting your circadian rhythm. Just be active outside during the day for a couple of hours, and it should help tremendously.
Pretty good.
Random voices from Spencer's side.
Yes, apologies. Because I'm on my laptop, I don't have access to a mute button at the moment. What was I about to say? Oh. Well, one thing I've noticed when I started taking melatonin, my quantity of sleep has not changed, but my quality of sleep has changed significantly. So that's why I keep pushing the envelope. Until it starts making me sleep longer, I don't see any reason to not up the dosage.
Well then, yeah, something else is going wrong there. Because it's supposed to improve the quality of your sleep, not quantity. And the quality of the sleep is supposed to indirectly affect the quantity. Like, because it's easier to sleep, you're sleeping for longer periods of time. So it's more likely something in your diet, and you're probably not getting enough vitamin D, and you're probably not getting enough sunlight.
Yeah.
You're probably
Actually,
not getting enough
funny
exercise
thing,
either.
Wasn't he working exercise in at work? I remember him saying that.
Is that true, Spencer?
I've started slacking off recently as it got busier.
Well, don't. Tomorrow you give me a set of 25 at work.
Well, tomorrow I don't have work. I've got another computer to build.
Tomorrow, because you don't have work, you will give me a set of 50, and then you will run a 5K outside.
No, honey, 5K is so much for him right now. Do a mile.
Well, he could. I mean, 5K is just distance. It's not time.
It'll take him a long time.
It'll
though.
take him a lot. Exactly. That's the point. I want him to spend a lot of time in the sun
Maybe just do a sunbath. Take a nap.
while exercising.
Yeah, unfortunately, tomorrow I'm booked. I've got to take all the parts that I just pulled out of my PC and put it into my dad's old PC to make a PC for my sister.
Okay. Very well.
Charles B. asked, could Bronny do push-ups with Heather sitting on his back?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I could probably do... I'd say between 2 and 5. I don't know how many I could do, but I know I could do at least a couple.
Go away, moth.
Actually, funny story. The first time I took melatonin, I almost cut my sleep time in half, but I felt great.
Blood Archer Gaming says I do it, but I'm not paying 5K to exercise. Screw the tyrants. I mean, that's what needs to happen in Australia right now. Just massive civil disobedience. They can't arrest all of you. And where are they going to get 5K from? Yeah, they're going to fine you 5K, but it's like, okay, you're not getting it. It doesn't exist. We need to break
See,
out.
the problem is they probably could arrest everyone at the same time.
I don't think they could, and I don't think they would.
They are literally building concentration camps to house sick people.
Yeah, which is why they need to revolt in massive numbers right now and just clean out all of their entire government system.
Man, you guys are making me wicked depresso espresso.
Yeah, well, Australia's making me pretty wicked angry.
It's Australia?
Listen, I joke
Yeah.
about Australia being upside down a lot, but this is the most upside down I've ever seen it.
This isn't upside down, it's backwards, and it's extremely tyrannical, and, I mean, we're lucky I'm not saying harsher things on this stream at the moment.
That's chill, right?
All right. But anyway, Archer, screw the government. Do what you want. Get as many of your friends to go with you as possible. They can't stop all of you.
Charles B says, I want to see Heather and Bronny arm wrestle.
No,
Have we not done that before?
not on stream. And
It should be pretty obvious who would win fairly, but if I am allowed to cheat, which I will anyway, I could.
you would have a chance.
Watch out, she's gonna use alchemy on the table.
Kitty, stop rubbing your butt on me.
Just goes back and forth.
Ah, Kitty, you're hurting me with your claw. Yeah, go back to Daddy, you're hurting me. It's like, Daddy, she won't love on me.
Yeah, Bronny doesn't feel your claws.
Well, she's gone.
Good. Telekinesis, close the door. Oh, that's right, I don't have telekinesis. Never mind.
I would love telekinesis. You wouldn't have to get up for shit.
I don't know why you don't have telekinesis. You got enough of a Professor X thing going on that you should.
It's like he wants me to hurt him.
He does.
Why do you want me to hurt you, Spencer?
I don't know, but I'm fully expecting to walk away from our first game of Prance with both arms broken.
Yeah. It's like we both see a match go down, and I just purposefully wait for you to slap it first, just so I can go.
Charles B asks, is using alicorn powers cheating? Yes. I'll do it anyway.
I'll flick the horn like Sweetie Belle did in that Ponyville Confidential episode.
Did Sweetie Belle do that, or was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
done to her?
Because she caught Rarity like reading her journal or going through her bags and invading her privacy, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And Rarity's like, "Nothing," and tries to hide it, and Sweetie Belle like tries to juke her out, and it doesn't work, and then just looks up and flicks her horn, and and then she drops it, and she's like, "Oh, how dare you!" Charles says, "I bet Spencer could take Brawny in a fight."
No, I couldn't. Listen, I'd probably do a fair bit of damage on the way down, but I'm going down.
That's the best you can hope for. Oh, we got tea today. We didn't mention the tea. They had this freaking thing at a tea place we go to that is like cheese tea?
Yeah, they called it cheese tea. I've never heard of anything like it in my life.
But it's like a foamy cheesecake, kind of like cream cheese.
It was kind of weird.
It was kind of weird, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't awful.
Parts of it weren't bad, but then it got like there were parts of it where it actually did start to taste like liquid cheese.
I actually liked it.
And I wasn't as good.
But you said though maybe if it was mixed up a little more.
Yeah, so it's worth a second try. I mean, let's also keep in mind, I tried boba 6 times before I realized I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's me. I love boba, but I like going to these tea places because in any boba tea place you can just get tea without boba. A tea that he will enjoy is if it's a fruit tea with popping boba. I realize I can give him. Like I got him like a mango tea with like green apple and strawberry popping bobas. No, it was green apple jellies with strawberry popping bobas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a fruity little snack. And he liked that. Those are really good. So, I understand that. But he doesn't like milk tea with like tapioca pearls. Which, that's okay. You don't have to like that. But it's good that there's points of, like, because I don't like ordinary tea. Like in a cup, a warm, that kind of thing. I don't like green tea. So this is like kind of like a middle ground of tea that we can both enjoy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like just plain milk tea. I can have it without boba, though. Boba's a treat. I do love boba.
Oh, Heather, I just realized something. Spencer, Professor Xavier doesn't have telekinesis anyway, you filthy casual.
Yeah, it's more of telepathy, isn't it?
I could have swore he did in at least one of the continuities.
Probably, actually. That's debatable. There's a lot of comic books.
It's not, at the very least, it's not very common.
Yeah.
I'd like to have telepathy, though. That would make everything so much easier. Or telekinesis. I think I'd rather have telekinesis over telepathy.
I'm gonna be like that one meme with the guy that just is like doing telekinesis and a pizza is floating toward him.
Yeah, that would be me too. We wouldn't have to do as many dishes, that's for sure.
Yeah. Dishes. We're always like handing off that. We both put in our fair share, but it's something that no one really wants to do.
I don't know. I've been lazy as heck this week. Heather's been taking care of me for the most part this week. I don't know why. I've just been tired and not getting to my own half of the chores as much.
On weekdays, I don't really cook, so I think it's only fair that I clean the kitchen because, like, every other day we're having our exercise group and they cook a lot of the meals, and then when they're not here, Bronny makes a lot of the food. So I clean up because I didn't cook, I just ate, and you can't just eat and not do something else. So since he cooked and we both ate it, then I think it's just fair that I start cleaning. And with the exercise group, it's the same thing. They start cooking, I go take a shower, I come back, I eat, and then I clean up the mess. It's just, partnership.
Charles B. says, I want to see Heather teach a street rules class now. So, Heather,
all right,
give us a street rules class.
First rule of street rules. You don't go to class. School is for nerds. You learn street rules on the street.
Street rules class. You don't talk about street rules class.
Exactly.
First rule of street rules class. You go for the armpit.
First rule of street rules class is there is no class because class is for nerds. You learn street rules on the street, and you're being a little bitch.
Oh yeah, that was actually related to something he said further up, where he's telling me to fight Brawny with street rules. What do you want me to do? Lose faster?
When I used to compete, let me see. I lost at least half of the competitions I went to, and half of those losses were just me getting outclassed because I'm not very good at what I do, and the other half were disqualifications because I couldn't not use street rules. And I would just do illegal things on instinct and not even realize I was doing them until I had already been carded 3 times.
You go to the fight, you black out, you have the opponent in a full Nelson, and like, how did I get here?
Yes.
It was usually just excessive force and a couple of times illegal techniques. One of the ones that sticks out in my memory was I got carded one time for elbows in a format that did not allow elbows. There was another time, and there was one time I lost a point for using an illegal technique, but it wasn't even my fault for using that technique. Basically, the guy kind of, like, I was aiming for his stomach, and he moved his head into my fist while I was aiming for his stomach.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, he didn't do it on purpose, but like, his stomach was there when I threw the back fist, and then by the time it got to him, his head was in the way.
That sucks.
Yep. And also,
Yeah.
he couldn't take shots to the head. I don't know why his head was so weak.
Well, says Cinderblock.
So if anyone wants to know how a Street Rules fight with me and Brawny would go, he would instantly sweep my legs out from under me, and before gravity had a chance to affect me, he'd bring his forehead down to my ribcage.
Crack.
They what's that game? Is it Apex? That Apex Legends that everybody's been talking about. I've seen some gameplay of that, and there's like a takedown technique I've been seeing people do where they get behind someone, they sweep out the legs from under them, and then as they're falling down, they just platinum star the dude on the way to the ground. If you get my joke, yeah, just chaining those freaking punches way faster than you should be able to, hitting them like 10 times hitting them like 10 times before they hit the ground. I'm like, that actually looks really cool. Almost makes me want to play the game, but I'm most certainly not going to play that game.
Someone's gonna make you play the game.
Someone is gonna be disappointed.
I can certainly say it's not me, because we still got the rest of Helltaker to finish whenever I remember to catch that rain check.
Oh yeah, you do have that rain check, don't you?
Yep, I just need to not forget about it for half a year this time.
I haven't run the RNG yet. Right now is your best chance.
Well, first I need to get the behemoth up and running.
Okay.
God, you guys see how white my legs are?
Yeah, you're
It's like
lighting
they're
up.
lit up.
You're lighting
Damn.
up half the room.
Why am I so white?
I don't know. You were just
It's actually blinding now that I'm looking at it. Where's my sunglasses?
I know. Look at that. My
Blinded.
hand is not as white as my thigh. Look at my arm.
blinded by the white.
Actually, I picked up a pair of sunglasses recently. I think they're the only kind of sunglasses I will ever buy for the rest of my life, provided that these ones don't last that long.
Hmm.
They are from a brand called Solar Shield. They're the panorama model, and they at the ends of the lenses they curve to cover the sides of your vision.
I will look into that. Send me a link.
Yep, they have another model where instead of the lens curving, it's a regular flat lens, but then on the side they put another smaller lens to perform the same function, but then you lose a column out of your peripheral vision, and I didn't like that very much.
Yeah, I've tried that before. I don't like that either. For the last several years, I've been wearing Khan wraparounds, Khan, And I like those a lot. But I was complaining to Heather today is that, you know, after a year of using those things every day, because of the way they're designed, the arms hit the glass, hit the you know, the actual sunglasses part. So I've got these scuffs right in the center of my field of vision.
Should you ever replace them, I would recommend gluing like little felt pads on the parts of the arms that hit.
That's something I hadn't considered. I was thinking today, because I was complaining about it, I was like, oh, maybe next time I'll get some with plastic or
A little bit.
with rubberized arms instead of plastic ones, and maybe that
might
will
work.
solve the problem.
Or a little more tedious solution would just be to put a microfiber cloth in there every time you close them.
Maybe. I think, though, the better solution would be to tickle Heather's niece. And it's not working.
Not today.
Not today. We haven't tried the feet, though.
I looked at your freaking sunglasses today. He handed them off to me because he was driving. He was like, can you get the dry cloth and just try to get some of this stuff off of it? And I looked and I'm like, girl, I ain't getting a lot off. This is mostly scratches. Jesus Christ, it was bad. I've had the same sunglasses for like a few years now because they're prescription. So like I can wear sunglasses and still be able to see things clearly. Because I have a very high prescription. Because my vision is shit.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, my depth perception is a little bit different if I'm wearing my glasses versus when I'm not. But for the most part, like, now I can't read the chat. And now I can, right? But other than that, things don't look too terribly different. You know, it's just...
Well, yeah, you froze your eyeballs and warmed them back up. That probably caused their shape to change.
I
Yeah.
cannot read the chat. I can read the chat.
Yeah, but you...
I can't see
She's
shit.
she's a magnitude worse than I am. She takes off her glasses. It's like, how many fingers am I holding up, right? And, you know, I don't have that problem.
Heather, I forget. Were you one of the sighteds, or is it astigmatism?
I don't recall. I don't think it was a stigma.
She spent too long in her childhood sitting too close to the television, playing video games in a dark room for too long, and burned out her retinas.
Hey, I didn't start doing that until middle school and high school, and
Which
I
is
got my
exactly-
glasses beforehand.
Okay. Yeah, but you probably made it worse.
Eat my penis.
Grow one.
I will, just so you can eat it. That's
There are
what
so
we
many-
call
There
organic
are so
farming.
many. There are so many possible improvised weapons in this room and within arm's reach, but I'm just gonna...
Keep feeling my soft leg.
Sure. Well, my hands are here. I might as well.
My eye is itchy.
Yeah, I'm getting that today too, actually.
We pet the cat too much.
I suppose so.
That's what happens. Like, and we didn't wash our hands, and now the fur and dander is in our eyes.
I knew that cat was an eyesore.
But she's honestly beautiful. I brushed her today.
Yep. And she's frustrating because she'll stare at you from across the room, looking all cute, looking like she wants attention, just giving you the face that cats give you when they want attention, and yell at you constantly for attention. If you try to go over there, though, she'll run away to the laundry room.
Because she's going to go next to her bowl and meow some more. Because she's like, hey, can you give me extra food? It's like, no.
There's got to be a can of food size in between what we give her and the other cans that were larger. And maybe that will shut her up. Because she wouldn't eat the whole can when we gave her the large cans.
Yeah, so we got down to the small cans and she eats all of that. I don't know, wasn't she still meowing at us before though when it was
Yeah, and that was crazy because she wouldn't eat the whole thing, but then she wouldn't eat her leftover. She wouldn't eat her leftovers either. I hate this cat. This cat drives me freaking nuts.
She's finicky, and you know what? I think it's because we put it in the fridge, and she doesn't like it cold. She doesn't like cold food.
That's very possible.
And she, like, there was at one point she wouldn't eat the food I gave her, and I think it was because it was the same flavor. And giving her the same flavor over and over and over again, she doesn't like.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, like, mix it up, which is why I have the Chicken Craves variety pack I get her all the time. That has chicken, which is the best thing for her to digest, mixed in with other things like chicken with turkey, chicken with, what the fuck is it? Little bits of fucking quail egg, and regular egg, and the little gizzards and shit.
Yeah.
She loves that shit. She gobbles it up.
I'm getting myself a drink.
Go ahead, honey. Oh, shit. I should have asked you to put the bottle away. That's probably all the wine I'm going to drink tonight.
I got you.
Yeah, we don't want a repeat of the entire bottle.
Oh, dude, I could drink this entire bottle, but Stella Rosa is very good. I probably wouldn't get drunk off that. It's not very... well, the alcohol content, I would assume, would be higher, but it doesn't knock you off your ass quite like other things do, like margaritas and shit. Or cocktails.
500 calories per bottle.
For wine?
Per bottle.
Of wine?
Yes.
Cool. Let's see, what's going on in the chat? Ever eye poke or low blow accidentally during... Oh, Brownie, did you answer this question? Ever eye poke or low blow accidentally during the duel?
Yeah. That's happened. Let me see. I accidentally eye poked my older brother one time when I was 14. That was right as I was getting into it. And, low blows happen all the time. There was one time I was practicing for a competition. I had one of my friends who wasn't really into the combat sports as much as I was, but like we would, play around, fence with each other, sometimes box with each other when we were kids. But anyway, I'm 17, I think, and I'm practicing for a competition in New York City. And, just messing around, trying to get, ready. So I tell my friend, who's a lot bigger than I am, I say, just come at me with everything you got. I want you to try to hurt me. And my primary tool at that time was a turtle strategy. And because I figured that most people get themselves into a rhythm and get themselves into a pattern. And if I can see that pattern, this is why I was horrible at point formats, start and stop, because I needed time to see that pattern, so I needed to turtle up and take a couple of hits and get their rhythm down, and then I would be able to interrupt it, and once I interrupted it, I was extremely effective on the offense. So I was doing that, and I took those few hits, and then I came back, and I remember making him trip somehow. And then it was a case of, once again, he got down, and I went to follow up, and I followed up with a really, way stronger than it should have been for kids who were playing around. Back leg roundhouse kick. And I was aiming for where his stomach was, but let's remember, he's a lot bigger than I am. And by the time the kick reached him, he had stood up fully, and I put my whole shin and my whole hip straight through his groin. And that was the second to last time my friend had sparred with me, because he was talking falsetto for the rest of the day. It took him, it's funny in retrospect, but I feel bad about it. It took him 15 minutes to get back up. I had to drag him, and this was in New York in the winter, so it's snow. You can't just be laying in the snow for 15 minutes. So, yeah, that was a problem. But yeah, low blows happen all the time in combat sports. It's just something you got to be ready for. My biggest problem is that I'll accidentally tag people harder than I should. And Heather gets that sometimes. Heather's one of those people. Heather fights like an Irishman, where she just keeps coming no matter what happens. And the only way to deal with an Irishman is to sting him a little harder, or to be a little bit more aggressive yourself. So I'll land a few on the head, and then she'll be like, "Oh, remind me I'm getting her too hard," and I'm like, "Sorry, I forget that you're not our friend Chris, who does the same thing."
Yeah. Charles B. asked, does dueling require headgear and cross protection? When we spar, it does.
It does not require, but it is recommended. So, depending on your gym and where you go and who's your teacher, some will enforce it, some will not. Generally, headgear. It also depends on your sport. If you're doing fencing, especially Hema, Kendo, Kenjutsu, you're going to want headgear because it's going to be hard to not move fast, and you're going to likely be taking a hard hit with a heavy, blunt object, and you definitely don't want your head exposed to that. You're going to get bad cuts, you're going to get bad welts, you're going to get bad brain damage. So definitely wear headgear if you're fencing. With épée and saber, the Olympic style fencing, still wear headgear because those are very thin blades, and the chances of you getting a cut or getting literally poked in the eye are pretty high. Because those things whip too, so even if you block, it's like I hate the fact that your camera is mirrored. It's like you block it because they're so flexible. They're still gonna like whip around and
slap you in the face.
Yeah, and slap you, which is arguably more dangerous. So, yeah, any kind of fencing, wear headgear. Groin protection will help if you get kicked. It's only going to take away so much. So if someone gets you full force and they're good at what they do, it's going to hurt regardless, but it'll hurt less. And if you just get tapped like you should be doing, it won't hurt at all, right? So things that are recommended. Me personally, I don't like wearing headgear, and and it's inconvenient and uncomfortable to wear cups. So I just forego them both, which is unwise. Don't be like me. If you're doing something like boxing or karate, then what headgear is going to do for you is prevent bruises and cuts, and it's going to protect your nose, and it's going to protect your eyes, because those things are very easy to break. It's not going to protect against concussions, because there is no way to protect against concussions. You just gotta be training with somebody who's going to hit you like there's money on the line.
Alright. Charles B. asked, does Barney have any ticklish spots? He does. He does. Oh gosh, I didn't expect that to work.
I tried so hard to not let you have it.
Yeah, so around his neck and pits, like anyone else. Let me love you.
Fine. I will trust you.
Your trust was foregone. I ate your neck. Anyways, let's see. Bronny, what's your best zombie killing sword?
Probably the cane.
Yeah, that is a good weapon.
And if it's not the cane, it's well, actually, yeah, probably the Ninjato would be really good because it's a very thick, high carbon steel. It's a very thick profile blade with a high carbon steel, so that one would be really good. The cane is by far the sharpest, but you can make the Ninjato the sharpest. By design, the Raptor would be the best. But the Raptor is not sharp.
You can make it sharp.
We could make it sharp.
Though, it's not going to be like on Left 4 Dead, or Left 4 Dead 2 particularly, where you have a katana and you can just slice a zombie in half with it. Fortunately, that's not realistic. Which reminds me, we got to get back to testing and seeing on how I could do a gaming stream, because I want to, well, Emerald has a game he wants me to play around Halloween time, and I want to play Left 4 Dead 2 on stream.
Maybe that'd be a good thing to test tomorrow while I'm doing my own computer work.
Yeah, but I want to finish this commission first.
Yeah.
Finish the commission first, then I'll think about gaming, streams, stuff like that. How did you enjoy the cookie bars I made yesterday?
They were extremely good. I'm tempted to go get another one, but I've eaten like 5,000 calories today.
Nah, we had a couple today. We'll have some tomorrow.
All right.
I made sugar cookie bars, which is another recipe that came out of my Little Pony baking book. And I think they came out rather well. We cut them up with a pizza cutter. I recorded bits of it, so I'll probably make that into a TikTok that everyone can enjoy. I love getting recipes out of that book and just trying them out. There's a really good looking recipe for a pretzel strawberry pie that I want to try. I'm sure would be delicious.
Should make a series out of it. That might help.
I should make that a playlist. It's like all the MLP baking
Yeah,
book
just
recipes.
you know, have them all have like the same opening and closing, where it's like you open the book like they do it at the start of the show, and then at the end of the video you close the book.
Whenever I do a recipe out of the book, I usually do like start with the book, like showing what the recipe is and showing a picture of like the food. I don't show the whole recipe. I mean, the recipe is on there for a few minutes, but I don't show it for long because I'm worried that like you could get in trouble for like sharing the recipe that's in a book that you have to pay for.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah, I doubt I'm famous enough for anyone to actually care, but like I do start most of my baking videos that are with the My Little Pony baking book at the beginning. If you've noticed.
TikTok's a pretty horrible platform anyway, so.
It's not like I can't upload those videos on other places.
Yeah.
Oh. We got out to the end. Sweet. So
That didn't take long.
Took longer than I should have. Did that. We're gonna slip stitch, tie off, and leave the long tail of yarn to sew later. Alright, slip stitch this bitch.
My nose closed up randomly. Maybe it's the water.
Could be. Long tail for sewing. Perfect. Use 7 blah 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 to decorate belt as shown in the pictures below. Use 3 on front side, right back. Use 3 of them on front side and 3 on the back. So 6 in total. And basically what I'm gonna do is
That looks sharp. Is that gonna get covered up?
No, I didn't get things like that. I figured I would substitute it with buttons.
Okay.
Not sharp. Fairly simple.
Thank you for not putting sharp things in a plushie for a 6-year-old.
Oh, there you go. I made it extra safe. So I got a few buttons here. I assume we want them to be yellow and still match with the design. So let me see what I got. It's pink. Damn it. Just make sure I don't drop any. That is peppermint. Ah, shit. I'm spilling. Ah! Here's some yellow. Let me see if there's any other ones that I might consider. No, I think those ones might be the best. How fortunate of me. Oh, thank you. Please get. Please put them back. Yeah, put those buttons away from me, will you? Alright, so we got some yellow buttons. And it looks like what it wants me to do is like if they had been those other things to have the round sides like initially installed on the inside, and then we're gonna like fold over the belt so they'll be portrayed on the outside. And then that's when they would have me sew that in. So that's simple enough in execution. What I'm gonna do, I'll just sew these little buttons in. Oh, give me some. Shit. Let me have a little drink. And thank you for specifying this was for a 6-year-old. I want to make sure it's safe.
Kind of reminds me of that one webcomic I was seeing. And I always share it every time I stumble across it because I think it's freaking hilarious. Has anybody else seen the webcomic of the
Get out of here.
of the Santa skeleton that gives the little girl the giant sword?
Get out of here. Get off my shit. Get out of here.
Look, I keep trying to hit this moth, Heather, and it's always next to something that I don't want to accidentally catch in the recoil.
No, I get what you mean. It's the same shit. I don't want to freaking wreck something. I think I'm gonna have to use like very thin thread for this. Where's my thread? Ah, here's my thread. Ah. All right. What color? Should I use yellow?
I would think yellow would match what you're trying to do.
Let's get the yellow out.
So this webcomic, for those who haven't seen it, I don't know what it's called. You can probably Google it. Skeleton Santa gives kids sword, something like that, and everybody's this kid's walking away all excited with the sword, and the mother comes up and goes, "What are you doing? She could hurt herself. It's that's not a toy." And he goes, "It's educational." And she's like, "But it's sharp. What if she cuts herself?" And then the skeleton just goes, they're like, "That's not safe." He goes, "It's not supposed to be safe. What if she cuts herself?" "Well, that would be a valuable lesson." And it is something I would say under, certain contexts.
Oh, sweetie.
Oh, sweetie fell.
Sweetie, now.
Yeah, your crown did not do a good job.
Do you feel pretty?
No.
Why do you bother?
This is why I try to avoid being on camera if I'm not in a full body costume.
Well, no one's stopping you from getting in a full body costume while you're here.
Except the tediousness it would take to put that thing on. I've only got one full body costume. Oh frick, I accidentally made a knot. Gosh darn it. This is not good.
Definitely not. Alright. 3 in the front and 3 in the back. I'll start with 1 in the center.
Listen here, string. I'm the sheriff of Nottingham.
That's great, dear. You do that thing that you do. I'm sure you do it really good.
Acknowledge my puns.
That's nice, dear.
What pun did I miss?
I find your enthusiasm phoned in.
That's nice, dear.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It was okay. I'm sure it has not been the first one. First one was probably me.
I'm stealing your string until you acknowledge my puns.
Maybe I shouldn't have started with 1 in the center. Oh, wow.
That scratched my head.
You okay?
Yeah, it was just unpleasant on the bare skin up there. There. Much better.
Brownie, if you notice it's a little broken right here, could you crazy please fix that?
Yeah.
Is that the Rarity plushie?
No, it's a Dr. Wolf plushie.
I see he got his fur dyed.
Alright, Rarity doesn't stay up.
I need to catch back up with Dr. Wolf.
Yeah, I fell out of him like years ago. He used to be my favorite, but I don't know. I guess need a little taste for something else.
His videos are part of the batch that I shoved up to my watch later playlist. I'm working my way through Angry Video Game Nerd right now. Maybe I'll slot him in after that.
Don't poison your mind like that.
Why?
Angry Video Game Nerd.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You heard me, son. That's some horrible content to ruin your brain with. I'd almost rather you watch anime. At least anime has the potential to be good.
I do watch anime, and you know which anime I watch.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm starting to think you guys are a little too close.
Starting to think you're not close enough. You're trapped like this now. I'm gonna tickle you over here.
No.
You know what? I knew what AVGN was before I even knew what My Little Pony was, so...
Well, yeah, because he's been around. He was around making videos for, 7 some odd years before Friendship is Magic came along, so...
I knew about MLP first. MLP was like part of my induction into the different communities.
So what are the purpose of these buttons?
Aesthetic.
So are those going to be on the outside or the inside?
Yeah, like I said, you're gonna bend them out.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. The stream cannot see what you're doing. Let me see if I can fix that.
Sorry, stream. Sometimes I gotta punch down.
Okay, so the next setup upgrade we need for Heather is a webcam arm.
Yeah, it is kind of... Well, it has an arm, but it's kind of just... It needs to be propped on.
I think we need multiple cameras and a switcher. And maybe even some screen share.
Sure.
There's multiple angles that we can switch to depending on, what we're trying to show.
Yeah. Whenever you want to get that set up, I know some software where I could just remote it and set it up for you.
Okay. Alright, I think that's enough.
Archer says Xana was a well-written villain. What do you think about that, Heather?
Who?
Xana.
From what?
Exactly.
Yeah, what's this about Xanax?
It's definitely how it's spelled.
Totally Yoko.
Yeah.
Xana!
Yeah, that's what we said.
It didn't click immediately, and you said it weird.
Xana, it's how it's always been pronounced.
I don't know. I guess I've never seen it.
Did they never told us what Xana stood for, did they?
Or what?
They always treated it like an acronym.
Let's see. Use 3.
And Xana was an inconsistent plot device on his best days.
We're saying he's a he. He wasn't like a...
It was a supercomputer, but
It.
yeah.
What was Xana's goal?
That's why. There was no goal. It was a computer that could make teddy bears grow to giant sizes. And then it possessed people.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
Yeah, it was when season 3 rolled around, and I was like, listen, not only have I read this fan fiction, I've also written this fan fiction several times. I'm pretty sure they were lifting plot points from the fandom. There's of course no way to prove that, but there were far too many similarities for it to be coincidental in my mind.
Mm.
It got to a point halfway through the third season where I was like, okay, he did, this character did this. I've read this story. This character did this, and now this character is going to do this and that, and then it played out just like that. After the 4th time it happened, I was like, done. I'm out. The voice acting isn't even that good.
The lip sync was a little weird, huh?
I'm not worried about the lip sync. It was the voice acting. It's a darn shame. It was an interesting premise, and it really could have been a good show.
Well, that's the way a lot of bad shows go, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I sat through 360 episodes of Bleach waiting for it to get good because it had a really interesting premise.
I know nothing about Bleach.
I'll never forgive myself for that. And sometimes I get back into it, too. Like, oh, man, Bleach was really interesting and it had a lot of, cool story elements. And then you try to read it again or you try to watch it again and it's like, oh, frick. No, I was wrong. It sucks.
The only thing I know about Bleach is Yoruichi because of Devil Artemis.
Yeah. I don't know why my nose closed up all of a sudden. It's making it difficult to talk. Archer wants to know, is Heather making a Baron Bunny or a Jumpty Humpty?
Is that a thing in the game?
I have no idea. What game is this for again?
It was Genshin Impact, right?
Oh, well, the reason that it's we don't recognize the second one is because it's called a Jumpty Dumpty. And yes, that is what it's called. So yes, it is Klee's bomb. Or more accurately, she's working on the bag right now. The bomb will come after that's completed.
And what game is this from?
Genshin Impact.
Oh, jeez.
I hear people have fun with it.
Our friend Brian likes that game a lot.
Heather, have you shown the stream the bag's unique feature yet?
Which unique feature? Oh,
The one you put in there?
now they see it.
Or they hear it. Something like that.
Something.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered something really funny.
What?
My dog Zelda, who currently lives with my mom, is scared of squeaky toys.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Well,
What
it's
kind
too
of-
late. I can't go back now.
What kind of dog is it?
Beagle mix. We got her from the Humane Society. We have no idea what her other half is.
Interesting.
She is, outside of the beagle coloration, she's spotted with a combination of black and brown spots. So we've joked that she might be half Dalmatian.
Black and brown spots. Oh, what's her fur like?
It's let me see if I got a picture of her handy. Yeah, Zelda. Where is she? That's not enough of her body. I really did not take a lot of pictures while I was down there. Okay, we're going back a couple years.
All right.
That's her belly. That doesn't help much. All right, here we go.
Where is it?
It is going in Cast and Crochet. It just might take a minute.
We can look over there. Still sewing this up.
There it goes.
Yeah, that is a beagle mixed with something.
We might be onto something with Dalmatian.
If it helps at all, she jumps like a reindeer.
Yeah. That fur is very beagle though.
Oh yeah.
Dalmatian is a good guess. Australian Shepherd might also be a guess. But that is mostly Dalmatian, so... Or not Dalmatian, that is mostly beagle. And the size of her is telling me that, you know, if it was an Australian Shepherd, she'd probably be bigger.
Hmm.
So it's probably another similarly sized dog, but nothing with spotting like that is coming to mind. Border Collie might be a possibility.
Maybe.
But there are beagles that look like that too, so it could just as possibly be, you know, a mutt of various brands, and it's mostly beagle.
Well, yeah, she's undoubtedly mostly beagle.
Yeah. So it's probably more like she had a grandparent that was mixed with something else and is causing this spotting. That's what I think. How's your test coming along here, Heather? It looks like you're almost done.
Almost.
Archer and Aaron, if you're still here, I put the picture I just shared with Ronnie and Heather in the mod hangout on my server.
What's that?
I'll investigate. Meanwhile, let's keep your eye on the time.
Well, we started a little late, so I don't care if we go a little over.
It sounded like the security system.
What did it say?
Honeydrop says, "Have no fear, for I am here."
Sick. up, honey drop? What's going on? Just making sure I have sewn through everything. Yes, I think I have. So I can go ahead and knot this sucker. Okay.
Alright, so there's nothing on the security system.
It sounded kind of like the voice that'll come out of your speakers.
You might be right. I might have forgotten to turn off my Bluetooth speaker earlier.
Honey Drop wants to know what's new.
Nothing much. Trying to get out this knot. Let's make it. I can't knot the thing because of this knot in the yarn. Get out of there.
No.
Brandon,
Hey, Brandon.
what is going on, my dude?
Not much. I'm back to third. Just up to what desk. Usual stuff.
That's good.
How about you? How's everyone else doing?
We're doing pretty okay. I had a great day.
Yeah, what happened?
Pretty okay.
I just had a long day out with Bronny. We ran some errands, but we also did some fun stuff, like go to a Chinese buffet. We went into a spirit of Halloween, but there just isn't as much good stuff yet in them. Saw a nice dog. We went shopping. Bronny got me this really cool Hello Kitty chicken.
Hold it up to you, Heather, so the camera adjusts and it can actually be seen.
We might see it better if you didn't use light mode.
Shut up. Look at the chicken. Do you see it, Brandon? Do you see the chicken?
I see it. We should remind the stream that we are not sponsored by Cup
I am
Noodles.
not sponsored, but if Cup of Noodle or Sanrio decided to sponsor me, that'd be the most wonderful thing in the world. I would accept payment in Hello Kitty plushies, please.
No, pay us in actual cash. If
That-
you put any more Hello Kitty plushies into my house, I'm gonna have a problem.
I love her.
Ronnie, if I'm correct, you're the one enabling it, right?
Oh, he
Shut
called
up.
you out. He straight called you out.
I don't remember asking you a gosh darn thing or giving you permission to speak.
Bronny, I do have an idea for
You
you.
got hold up. Brandon's got a lot of nerve coming in this call with that goatee and saying crap like that. What's up, Spencer?
Wait, I shaved recently. What are you talking about?
You don't even know what he looks like anymore.
Go on, Spencer.
Bronny, next time you get the urge to buy Heather a Hello Kitty plushie, instead just buy her the materials that she would need to crochet that plushie for herself.
I don't think I need to buy her anything. Have you all seen the bitch?
Well, Emerald, here's the point. The point is that, regardless of the material, it would still be adding another Hello Kitty themed plushie to the house.
Yes, but Heather would have to make it herself instead of Bronny paying a giant Japanese corporation for it.
Oh, but you know she'll do it. You'll know she'll do it.
Yes, but let's assume Bronny gets bad enough that he would be buying Heather one plushie a week. If he instead bought her the crochet materials, then it would probably take a minimum of 3 weeks for Heather to make a plushie, therefore cutting the plushie acquiring by a third. Not to mention, if we all keep commissioning her, she'll never have the time to make those plushies.
Oh man, that's devious.
You know what should happen instead? Bronny, instead of buying Heather plushies, you should be buying me a bunch of books. I have a couple on my list. I want Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. I want Go Set a Watchman. I'm kind of interested in The Clockwork Orange, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to borrow a copy from my brother. I want a couple of Middle English works to practice. That includes stuff by Geoffrey Chaucer, the Godwin poet.
Send me your list.
Maybe we'll get you some books for for Christmas.
If anyone's desperate to shed some money, I need some water cooling components.
I need to pay for my cat's medical bills.
I've got a list of house projects as long as my arm in each of them, and they each cost an average of $1,000. Also, it does not look like on this stream that I have any hair on the top of my head, and that bothers me a lot. I'm self-conscious about it.
Hey, you're beautiful.
Bronny's head looking like perpetual light mode.
Bruh! Bitch!
No, that's Heather's thighs.
Aw.
No. Okay, I think we're looking at two different things.
I'm looking at both of them as I have been for the entire stream because I have their camera feed up twice. Just one is like 10 seconds behind the other one.
I'd rather look like perpetual light mode than perpetual wuss mode like you, Brandon.
I'm gonna wait
What's
until
a wuss mode? What does that look like or sound like? Don't say me.
I was gonna say mirror, but that's just as good.
Frickin', so we, in case you guys forgot, we started the stream 5 minutes later than usual because me and Emerald got down to talking about some stuff. So right about as it says 12 o'clock on my clock, then I will declare it's the last 5 minutes of the stream. For now, I suppose it's the last 9 minutes of the stream.
9.
Last 9 minutes of the stream. Any last minute comments, questions, or concerns? Please say them now. Probably hold your silence until the next stream.
So I'm going to tell this one, Heather, about how I cut my hand this week.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So we're trying out a new exercise routine with the lightsabers. And I assigned Heather some homework of start yourself down the rabbit hole of like finding some lightsaber tricks and drills that you want to learn, and then learn them and then teach them to me. And we were working on one, and what was it, a flip?
Yeah, just a basic little.
Yeah, flip, and she was doing it, and she was like, "Oh, I wish I could, catch it higher on the hilt more consistently." And I said, "Okay, so here's the trick I use for doing that. I just, keep my eyes on it until I have the muscle memory, and then I tried to demonstrate, and without realizing that I don't quite have the mechanics of flipping a lightsaber down myself." And I got the commando, which turned out to be very sharp, and it just gashed like my finger right here, which doesn't look really bad on the camera, but it's deep, so it bled for a while.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the neck.
I had to literally hold his hand, but hold the gauze down so it would soak up the bleeding.
Yeah, we're just like she had my hand, and I'm on the table, and she's squeezing to try to get it to stop, and it's elevated, so the blood doesn't flow as much. Just trying to get the blood to slow down so we could put a bandage over it. And that's going to be another scar.
Yeah, not much to be done by that.
I still got to get this scar taken care of. This is ugly, and I don't like looking at it.
I'm sure it'll fade more with time.
Maybe.
Just wants me to do 2 rounds of straight single crochets, which I will happily oblige.
So Honeydrop says, Brawny, fun fact, it is now legal to carry swords openly in Texas.
It's been that way for a couple of years now. I don't know why you would. Open carrying a weapon is not generally a smart thing to do. And swords are good for sport, and they're versatile, but they've always been a status symbol more than they've been an effective weapon. So Don't carry a sword for self-defense.
Until the zombie apocalypse.
You still want to keep those guys as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, if you get into sword range during a zombie apocalypse, you messed up.
Well, fair, but a sword is better than something like an axe or a knife. Because axes
True.
get stuck, and knives you have to get really close.
Well, swords get stuck too.
The worst possible choice past that being, your own hands.
Yeah.
Can you, I guess depends on, of course, your physical strength, but even then, would that be enough to take down even one zombie? Imagine being in a group with only your hands.
Depends what state of decay the zombie is in.
Ew.
Brandon, put your headphones on.
My headphones are on.
Where the heck
Plug
is
them
that
in all the
echo
way.
coming from?
I don't know, is my volume up too loud that it's coming through? I don't know.
If it's able to come through your headphones when they're on your ears, then you have it way too loud.
Pony Drop says, Bronny, next time you hurt your hand, just put your hand over Heather's because you must keep the wound over your heart. Your heart is my hand?
It doesn't make any sense. Honey Drop, you make no sense.
Last 4 minutes of the stream.
He's saying your heart is with Heather.
Yes. Last 4 minutes of the stream and last minute comments, questions, and concerns. Please save them now for a whole chance. Until the next stream. Ah! Bitch, stop! Kill you!
Hey, Heather, I don't know what you were expecting.
So, Brandon, how's your day been?
It's been fine. Like I said earlier, I just worked. That's it. Got a couple of days off, and we're gonna have to look over. My family's gonna have to watch over a new puppy for a little bit.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Why is that?
I recently discovered family, like my mom's biological side and all that. I think it's her sister. I haven't fully met them yet. Is just dropping off her dog to stay with us for a bit. So that's really it. She just trusts us with the dog.
Alrighty then.
I'm blanking on the name. Oh, Shih Tzu. We're looking after a Shih Tzu.
Oh, that's one of the worst kinds of dog.
Really? Like, what's
Yeah.
her temperament like? What should I expect?
You should expect a yippy, yappy little ankle biter that's gonna piss you off to no end.
Well, I already have.
Yeah, it's more towards the Chihuahua end of the scale.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're basically fluffy chihuahuas.
I was gonna say, I have a mini dachshund that does nothing but yap, and it's annoying, but I can deal with it. But Chihuahua level? Oh.
The scale of big dog to Chihuahua actually goes further, but only if you're familiar with my family, because my dad has a dog. Oh boy.
Explain.
It is part Chihuahua and part Yorkie.
Sucks to be you.
His bark is the most high-pitched bark I have ever heard, and it is ear-splitting, and he will go off at a moment's notice for no reason.
There's only there's been a few times where I've had to hit a dog, but most of them have been self-defense. But there's only been one time where I've been, unapologetic for it. I was over at Concert Cruiser's house, and he's got 5 of those frickin' chihuahuas, and they all bark all the time, and I hate all of them.
At the same time?
Yes. Non-stop. And they'll try to intimidate you too. And but I don't get intimidated by dogs. So I'm walking around and then like I turn my back to, go about my business, and one of them bites me right in the Achilles tendon, and I turned around and I booted the freaking thing. Slid that thing across the floor. Like, is that going to teach you yet? And it worked. Until the next time I visited, and then they just forget all about it because they're dumb as rocks.
Hey, that's an insult to rocks.
You might be right. I think it's about time to wrap up, Heather.
I want a pet rock next time.
Ah, yes, it is about time. All right, everybody, thank you for staying on tonight. Sorry we started a little late, but then we stayed a little late. So, before I start thanking patrons, how about we thank everybody in alphabetical order? Starting with, I'm pretty sure, Brandon. Yeah, do I have my ABCs right today?
Yeah, you do.
It's late. Give me some freaking sec. Brandon, take a night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Emerald.
Have a good night, everyone.
So thanks for tuning in. If you want to be in the Discord server, donate $10. If you want to just give us a tip, there's a PayPal link in the description. No negative numbers, please.
Thank you.
We got our commissions open. We're trying to raise money for knives, vet bills, and we'll see you next week.
Let me just take a moment to thank my patrons. There's DJ Skywalker, Emerald Spencer, Aaron Davis, and Phil Marbroni. And again, if you want to become like one of them, all you gotta do is join that Discord. I mean, not join the Discord. Go on Patreon and become a patron on one of my tiers. Like you said, $10 per post will get you into the Discord server. But if you want to give a little less than that per post, $2 per post will get you a kazoo cover. I'm still currently working on the one for one of my past patrons. So as soon as I get that, I can move down the list and get everyone what they need. Now, I believe everything that's needed to be said has been said. Again, commissions are open. I usually start around $30 depending on the complexity of the design. Emeralds in particular was a bit more expensive because it's a bit more complicated, and I also had to buy the pattern in order to make it. So expect prices to vary. And once again, thank you for joining us on this lovely night. You have a great Sunday if you're in the East Coast of America. And we'll see you in the next one.